But you corrupted
Good
him.
morning, good evening, good
Yes, he
afternoon,
did.
wherever the heck in the world you are. It's the one and only notorious, glorious V, the Guerrilla Economist. So we have the man simply known as Frank, and we have Mr. X along with us. These guys are here back again because it's so super important. If you didn't get it the first time, well, you need to listen in. Okay. And guys, if you haven't gotten a chance, go to Remain Calm. RemainCalm.biz. Let me pull up the site.
.net.
Oh, geez. RemainCalm.net. That's right. That's right.
That's our we do use emails at .biz, but there's nothing there. Yeah.
Exactly.
RemainCalm.net.
Yeah.
It's the motherload of awesomeness.
It's the total awesomeness of all awesomenesses.
Indeed.
Does that even make sense what I just said?
Yeah.
There it is, folks. RemainCalm. Hold on, let me present to everyone. Boom. Okay, cool. RemainCalm.net is where you want to go because today it's very important. It's almost the end of the year. A lot of things going on. We're going to be talking about the blockchain trust, how important that is. Okay, especially people that are in cryptos, you hold cryptos or whatnot. We're talking about the 1099 buster. We're talking about the crypto school sale. Okay, and of course, we can forget this one. One-on-one with a great one. You got 1 hour consulting sessions with yours truly.
Yeah.
Remain Calm is the place to be. You got the funding program. This is like the ultimate landing page of real useful stuff.
It's it's a solutions website. I know we do a lot of things and like we talk about like how can we streamline it and stuff like that, but really it comes down to solutions in the world of cryptos and solutions in the world of protecting your assets. And today we're talking about those worlds colliding because if you're in cryptos, unfortunately you do need to start thinking about how it's going to affect you at tax time. And, I mean, your audience is well aware of Mr. X and his brilliance. And not only that, I want to publicly thank Mr. X because he's helped our clients. I mean, people who were otherwise doomed. Right, V?
Yep,
I mean, we're talking like they're gonna drain your bank account, they're gonna take your wages, they're gonna put a lien against your property. Yeah. Brutal stuff. And then 20-minute phone call with Mr. X. And it's like solved. I mean, it's sometimes it's more complicated than that, but hardly ever. And so thank you so much, Mr. X, for all that you do for Remain Calm's clients and for us. Yeah, man, it's God's work. And today, we've been throwing a lot of stuff at you guys, and there are a lot of sales and awesome new things at RemainCalm.net. But the one we're talking about today is brand new. This is the blockchain trust, and this is, I mean, if you look on our site, the subtitle is legally avoid income taxes on windfalls in cryptocurrencies using the only
change that.
Yeah. Blockchain tax immunity trust available. So but there's truth to that though, and it's legal, 100% legal. So we're going to be talking about this entity that this structure, I should say, that Mr. X has developed, which can really protect you, save your butt. So it's pretty fantastic, and it's definitely relevant for anybody who is in cryptos, who trades cryptos, who collects cryptos. You don't want to be just doing this as an individual. You need a structure to do it under. Otherwise, you're going to get creamed. Yeah. So, Mr. X, the man who fearlessly stands up to the man at all times.
He's got some cojones. I'll tell you right now.
Definitely. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about the blockchain trust and why you came up with? And by the way, we've been talking with Mr. X about putting this out for quite a while, but it was just like, man, this is behind the work that goes into it is really complicated, and so presenting it to people can also be complicated. We wanted it to be simple, and so V and I have been trying to figure out ways to just talk about this, ways to sell it so that it's simple. And we've come up with like this really super simple way. You fill out a very simple form on our site, and I'm going to keep saying the word simple every 2 seconds. You fill out a really simple form on our site, and most of the work from there is done for you. So we're excited to finally be able to present this. We've been talking about it for months. So Mr. X, what is it and why do people need it?
Well, thank you both. Well, it's nothing new, really. It's just an application of something I've been using for many years. And over the years, I've come up with methods of solving problems where I'd work with a small business that was on fire. They're getting attacked by the IRS, and they will go out of business, And so what I would do is I would just restructure them so the IRS couldn't do that anymore. And likewise for individuals and people that sold property that had large windfalls and, from wherever. So I would learn to restructure things so that they can flow the cash into something else, and that way not take the hit on that first windfall. And I don't like to go and get complex trust organizations, and then you need a law firm to represent it and all this garbage. I like to set up something real simple. So when it comes to the cryptos, it's just the next asset to deal with, and where people would expect some kind of windfall, I'm sure looking at things now, they're not seeing that, but we think that, in the near future, we're going to start seeing some nice gains. Yeah. So people
yeah, and that's a good point. We don't want to sleep on it. Some of us are kind of demoralized because this time last year we were picking out our Lambos and and now things are like losses and things like that, but you don't sleep on it. This is still really important. It's coming back, and you want to be ready to deal with it when it hits.
Yeah. People are calling me saying, I want to buy what do you call it? What's that car? It's by a Bentley. I think Bentley makes it. It's a Ghost. Is that it, V?
Oh, it's Rolls-Royce.
Rolls-Royce. So Rolls-Royce makes this Ghost, right? This luxury car. It's like $250,000 at least minimum. And so, they're talking about things like that. And so I can actually structure ways to get those items and defer tax consequences, but keeping things simple. Instead of just opening an account at Coinbase or wherever your central exchange is going to be and just taking a hit on you personally, taking a gain if you take out cash, it doesn't make any sense when you can easily set up a company account. It only takes a few days to really do it, and then you can realize the gain in the company, defer the tax consequence, and then go on to your next asset, which is really what a lot of the smart people are doing. They're saying, I'm thinking I might make $1 million and I would like to get into some real estate, and how can I do that without paying $300,000 in taxes or more? And this is the whole idea. This is just a tool for doing that. I've used it for many years, and now using it with cryptos is just another application of it. And specifically now this blockchain tax immunity trust, that is specific to the cryptos. And what it's based on is the fact that the central exchanges own the private keys to your wallet, which makes the exchange the owner. So you can't possibly have the tax consequence at that point.
Wow.
And can you
break that down again?
Attorneys miss all the time.
Yeah, attorneys won't talk like that. Attorneys will talk about, let's make a deal, let's pay, let's fill out the form. The trust identifies a trust relationship that already exists. A trust is a relationship. It's not like setting up a company, like registering a corporation, although it's recognized as a corporation. I mean, a person, a legal person. But the trust does exist because the account holder is the beneficiary. The exchange is the trustee. And it's beautiful because however Coinbase works and however Gemini works and Kraken and all these places, that is the trust arrangement. You can't change the trust. In other words, this is an irrevocable trust. So all we've done is create a trust agreement that goes inside the company that identifies a particular type of transaction. So when you go into Coinbase, it's now in a trust. When you go out of Coinbase, let's say you go to Exodus, your Exodus wallet, the trust no longer applies. So just so you understand how that works. So if you took, like, let's say you sold some Bitcoin and got some cash out, well, the cash goes into your company account. Limited liability company is what we're using. So the cash goes into the company account. There's no reporting on that. It's a deferred pass-through. That cash can go into your next asset. You can just go buy gold with it. So it'd be like if I traded my silver for gold. There's no tax consequence there. Right. So that's how we set this up. Yeah.
Now you said something a minute ago that kind of confused me. So, and this is a benefit of this. Once this entity is established, instead of going on to Coinbase as Frank, I go on as the entity. Correct?
Exactly.
So if I'm buying cryptos,
Frank Incorporated.
Yeah. So,
sure.
So this is important because everybody's worried about, what if I want to go out and buy $100,000 worth of Bitcoin, or what if I buy $5,000 worth and it becomes $10,000 or $100,000 worth?
Right.
Now the IRS is going to 1099 me. That's another thing we can talk about, the 1099 buster. But this is even more powerful than that. If you're doing it as that entity, there's no tax consequences there because profit hasn't been taken. It just stays inside the tax deferred structure. Did I say that right?
You said it correctly. And what will happen soon in this coming January is individual accounts will get a 1099, and most people won't know what to do. This is why if you have a company, you can manage it better. So even like I did one in New Zealand last month. I did a New Zealand company, and those structures don't have the same benefits we have here in the States, but you still have tax benefits if you're using a company in New Zealand. But here in the States, what's really nice is we can pass money into a flow through, which is what this is, and then move into another asset. It's not a 1031 exchange, but it works kind of like that. It almost works like an escrow account. It's literally a disqualified escrow account, but there's no gain, is like what you just said.
Now, and then you said now if you send it to your Exodus wallet, it's no longer in the trust. What do you mean by that? Does that mean all of a sudden I've got to go pay taxes on it, or you're just saying now it's in cryptos and it doesn't matter?
No, it's just not.
What are you saying?
It's just not in the trust. It'd be just like if I took a gold coin from my right hand and put it in my left hand.
Mm-hmm.
There's no tax consequence. Now, if I sold it, that's different.
Okay.
All right. So the trust no longer applies. So there's a question of, let's say if I sold out of my Coinbase account my Bitcoin, and I
just moved it out.
Yeah, let's say I move it out into my Exodus wallet.
Yeah.
So now the trust no longer applies, but I'm holding it in my hand. It's still not taxable. But let's say I want to spend it on something. Well, I don't have a company really that I can use, but I do if I structure the contract correctly. So let's say I want to buy some real estate. So I could literally take my Trezor with my 100 Bitcoins on there, and I can open an escrow, qualified escrow, to buy real estate. The escrow gets opened, the seller accepts the terms, whatever, we make our contract, we go through the closing process, and the seller gets whatever he wants. Maybe he likes Bitcoin or maybe he likes dollars. I don't care. I'm just spending my Bitcoin and I buy my next asset, right? So the trick is I make sure that I don't put that new asset in my name, because if I do, I just defeated the whole purpose of the tax deferment, right? So I set up another company and I own the new asset. So now I've gone from my one crypto, my asset, to a new asset. This is perfect the way the IRS defined it in Revenue Bulletin 14. What they said was cryptos are property. It's perfect. It's exactly what gold and silver are, right? So just make sure that you title everything properly and move it through without going into cash in that manner, and you're in good shape. And by the way, you just use the company in escrow is what I'm saying. So you can title the money however you want.
Yeah, and you're talking down the line when someone's taking profits and moving.
That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
So we're setting it up for
this.
That purpose.
This is a way to make sure that you don't get destroyed in the meantime if you're on something like a Coinbase or a Gemini, and you actually make profit, because this is something people are very legitimately concerned about. We had I don't want to confuse people. We had a show the other day talking about a solution we have for those of you who are on Coinbase already and you've moved significant amount of cryptos and you're going to get that 1099K. We have another thing that we've named it the 1099K Buster. So you could see that at remaincalm.net as well. And our discussion is also on the page for that, for people who missed it. The three of us had this discussion last week, I think, or maybe it was earlier this week. We've done so much this week. Who knows? It feels like years ago, but I think it was just a couple days ago. But this is this is the way you should have been doing it. To simplify.
Everything that's worth something to you in your life, you should be, what is financial, you should be through a company. That's just my opinion, but this is just one of those things. And cryptos are here to stay. It's going to be a valuable part of everything we do, and definitely it's responsible to use something, whether you're going to use an LLC or a C corp or something, a trust, a business trust. Now,
how would this relate, for example, this will be a shocker to everybody. I know a lot of people who trade on Binance every day. Okay. And Binance has, you can upgrade your account to like corporate accounts where you can move more in and out. I don't know what their I think they're a Korean company. I don't know what their KYC is for new memberships. I think it's very, very basic, and I don't believe they issue 1099s or anything like that.
No,
but would using a blockchain trust, if you're, let's say you're a crypto trader, how could having a blockchain trust help a crypto trader in the long term as they're getting in and out of different cryptos?
Yeah, that's what it should be used for, because that kills the question of whether or not there's any tax consequence, because it identifies the ownership. That way the IRS can't bully you and try and do an audit and say, look at all these trades. And what are you going to say? I wasn't the owner. They're going to say, well, they don't understand, the people at the IRS. They don't know what a private key is. But if you have in your documents, you have this trust, they can see that you're not the owner.
So this would be like when you're setting up your accounts with these different organizations, you would do it as the blockchain trust. Am I right?
Nope. You do it as a company.
As a company.
Right. Okay. And then we don't even show them the operating agreement. Inside the operating agreement, the trust is formed. It's a 12-page trust, and the operating agreement's about 20 pages of a contract. So that structure goes all together. And we show the institution, whether it's Coinbase or your bank, a version of the operating agreement. They don't get to see everything. And now, so the only time anybody gets to see it is if the IRS were to summon it or it's under a subpoena.
Right. Okay. Which is obviously an unusual circumstance.
I've almost never seen that. I mean, no one's gonna go to that trouble, but you're covered then. You've identified that you're not the owner. It's on paper. It's like
I'm in the chat room, by the way, if people have questions. And I do have a first. Thanks, Joe. We love you too, man. He says we're the best. Actually, we really appreciate this. Joe wrote, "Love you guys. You're the best. The little folks need you guys now more than ever." That touches our hearts, man. That's awesome. What we want to be. Awesome. Then from ZL says this: is the trust relation? I think there's some typos here. We'll figure it out. Is the trust relationship still exists if you trade crypto or crypto fiat via OTC crypto broker like Caleb and Brown?
Whenever there's a third party that owns the private key, there's a trust relationship. That's the way to respond. If it's a third party, like Coinbase is a third party, that's the trustee.
Oh, I see. Okay. Interesting. So would it be straightforward then when someone is setting up once someone has this, it's going to be pretty obvious how you would set up your accounts as the LLC. I mean, I know, we have different accounts for our company, and, they require certain documentation, and essentially that's what you're providing people with.
That's right. All the documentation, and you walk in the bank and open it up. Basically, you get a couple of pages extra that you would normally use. So we all know how to open a bank account. Now we're just going to add a few more things, and basically now you become the signer for the account and not the account holder.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Sorry, I was just messaging people, but yeah, and that's the key. Isn't that's something that comes up constantly in what we do? That instead of it being yours, you're the signer for it, and that's just correct. That change of relationship is so key to everything we do when it comes to asset protection or watching out for stuff with RemainCom.
Yeah, what'll happen is
changing the relationship legally.
Yeah, that's what you do, and the company will then get the 1099-K. And it's of no consequence at that point because the company is not even gonna. Yeah, it's not even gonna file a 1065 because it doesn't need to. Now, if you take some of the money out, then just report it on your 1040. But you don't get a 1099 that you have to deal with.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's really important. If anybody there is glazing over, what John just said is so important. That when that 1099-K comes for the company, it's a pass-through entity. You don't really need to do anything with it. You just need to worry about the cash that went into. Oh, watch V. We're seeing you do something in the background there on your screen. But at that point, it's a whole different relationship than if you as an individual got that 1099.
It is. Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, you as an individual get that 1099. You're going to be paying.
Yeah.
Whereas if the company gets it, it's tax deferred, and it's a totally different situation.
The IRS does not care about the 1099 to the company because the company doesn't start out ever filing returns. It doesn't ever. It can, but it doesn't need to. Yeah. So just make sure that any cash you actually do take out for your personal use, you make sure you put that on your 1040, and then you're covered.
All right, cool. So let me tell people how to get started with this. This is obviously a premium product, but we're believe it or not, I mean, the prices. It's funny. When I was doing some work on the website, I was talking to my brother, and he was like, "Oh wow, what are you doing today?" And I was like, "Oh, we're doing this blockchain trust thing." He's like, "What are you charging?" And I told him. He's like, "Oh wow, that's a great price for something like that." Yeah. So this is very affordable for what we're doing here. So
right.
You see up on the screen, I think right now you're looking at if I'm up to date on what I'm watching here. You're looking at the page you'll get to when you go to remaincom.net, and you just click on blockchain trust. And there's a little bit of information there. This video will be there by the time most of you get there. And you click on order now, and it brings you to a very simple form. Now, here's the thing. The blockchain trust requires an LLC. It's set up inside of an LLC. And so there's two different ways to do that. We have instructions on our site. Many of you probably have your own LLCs. Well, we have some specific requirements if you want to use your own. And it has to be one that's never filed a tax return before. So if you've got one of those, then we can work with you on that and set this up inside it. Otherwise, we're offering to set that LLC up for you. Actually, I should say, Mr. X and Ace of Coins is.
Yeah.
We're just getting you to him. So he's the one who's actually doing all of this. Remain Calm isn't doing it. We're just passing it through to him. So he'll actually do all of that work for you. So he'll get the LLC set up. He'll get the trust set up, give you all the information that you're going to need to get it done. So it's pretty sweet. We're excited about it, and we've made it really simple. And to be honest with you, V and I don't think of ourselves as particularly stupid. But sometimes when we talk to Mr. X, it's pretty next level stuff. It takes a minute or two for us to catch up. So we were like, how are we going to do this? Like, there's so many, because he's talking about all these things involved. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know, man. And so finally, I understood how the whole thing worked. And we've made this really simple order process for you. And you really just give a few pieces of information. It sounds complicated. The beautiful part is, Mr. X, it's not complicated for him, and he's doing all the work for you. So if you just head over to remaincalm.net, click on that, and you get started. It's very affordable, and I mean, forget affordable; it's necessary if you're taking this world of crypto seriously as something that you're investing in.
Let's talk about the 1099 Buster, man.
Ah, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, click on it, man. So this is for those of you who are already in a bad situation with your Coinbase account. So this is pretty relevant. We talked about this the other day, and we've renamed it the 1099 Buster. V actually came up with that, and you could see Mr. X's fake version of himself there. He's much better looking in person. So this is a solution for that. I love that right there on the page. V's scrolling down the page. There is a solution. Let Ace of Coins do the work for you. That's Mr. X, goes by Ace of Coins as well. And he set up a thing where when you get your 1099K from Coinbase, if you fit the requirements for getting the 1099K, there is a letter that can be prepared and sent on your behalf. Again, very complicated situation. That Ace of Coins will prepare for you. You want to give us just a quick rundown of what that's all about and how it works?
Well, the 1099 is false. It's going to have false data on there. You're going to get really pissed off. That's why I started doing this. I was like, wait a minute, are they really? Because I'm tracking this and I'm seeing what these guys are going to do, and it's going to be false. So to correct it, you cannot go to the 1099 issuer. The regs won't let you. The regs won't let them fix it. You have to go to the IRS, and it has to be addressed properly, and you have to use the IRS's form, and you have to make a legal argument, which is all done. So that's what that's for. You'll get a letter back from the IRS saying, okay, or you're full of BS, or yeah, we agree. More than likely, it's going to say we agree. These amounts do not reflect any gains you've received. That's what's going to happen.
Right. Okay, cool. Wow. I'm interacting with people in the chat room. So this is a way, and this is kind of a scandal.
Yeah, it is.
That they're even doing this, right? I mean, they're essentially doing something illegitimate. They're
they
claiming,
are, right?
Yeah. And this is a way to just sort of get back and say, nope, to stand in their way and say, no, I'm not going to just lay down and let you do it.
Yeah, most people won't know what to do. If you go to your accountant, he's not going to know what to do. They're not going to go look at 3406 and then look at the regs. They're going to be like, what regs?
Yeah.
That's the statute. Okay, but you got to look at the regs and the bulletins.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what this is for.
Yeah, what I found working with you over the years, Mr. X, is that accountants will generally operate out of just fear.
They do.
That their policy is basically like the lowest common denominator. It's never like let's do what we can do. It's always let's do what they want us to be scared into doing. Is my impression.
I think they've been threatened for the most part, in some way, threatened indirectly. Either you're going to do it this way, you're going to play along, or your life's going to be hell. I think that's what they do.
Well, can't you just see the professor teaching them how to do their stuff saying, well, you could do this or that, but then the client could get in trouble, and then you're going to get blamed, and then this could happen, and if you do it wrong, blah, blah, blah. And so then they just end up doing
That's right.
Doing it the easy way, where they're going to never get in trouble for it because it's what the IRS wants them to do.
The only time you're going to get something like that is if you're dealing with probably over $10 million on a regular basis, tens of millions of dollars, and you have a law firm doing all your books, and they would go to the IRS and do this on a routine basis. Like they would ask for letter rulings and determination letters all the time because you're doing things that you probably shouldn't be doing, and they want to get permission to get tax breaks, and you're going to get it, because you're famous or something. But that's not for us. That's not what we do. But the procedure is the same for everybody.
Right. It's awesome, man. Yeah. So that's why like V was saying before about our website. It's like it's solutions for just everybody, and that's
it is the ultimate shopping site for solutions. It really is. I mean, real solutions. We got no hocus pocus pills of here, use Super Adreno 3000, get energy now. No, we don't have any of that. It's blockchain trust. It's stuff that has to do with life, God, no, never.
I'm kidding, man. Yeah. No, this is really great stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love this site. It's the best landing page I've ever been to with actual real solutions. Whether you need, you got the funding program, you got people coming after trying to sue you, you got asset protection, you got the Watches Trade Room if you want to learn how to trade, you want to protect your cryptos, you got the ape. You got everything here.
The Crypto School, which is on sale for $99, down from $300.
You want to learn about cryptos? Go to the Crypto School. You want to get one-on-one with me? Well, you can do that. You can do that as well. You got the consultation from yours truly. Bam, 1 hour with me. Ask me whatever you want. There, you could fill in the times that are available. As you can see, folks, times are filling up. There's only limited seating, and I'm only doing this till about a month.
Yeah, I only
got a little bit.
Opened it up for a few weeks because it's not something we're going to do forever. And hey, not enough. I got to say, not enough people have bought that ape. The thing is awesome. It's very easy to use.
The ape is sick.
The ape is sick. So take another look at that, folks, if you haven't. If you're into cryptos and you're a security nerd, that's the one for you. It's like you've heard of hardware wallets.
Yeah, this kills
cold storage. This is like a hardware computer. I mean, obviously it is. You know what I mean, though. It's like a cold storage computer. So, but anyway, yeah, some cool stuff. We don't want to overload people. We're excited about all our products, but I mean, the blockchain trust is the star of the day. So, yeah, if you're into cryptos, start doing stuff. And I don't mean to insult anybody, but start doing it like a grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Stop going on to exchanges yourself, for the love of God. It's if you're serious about this stuff, please.
Right.
Stop. You need to get started with a structure, and Asa Coins is the best place to start to get that set up, because he's going to do it. He's going to treat you like you're that person who's moving $10 million every day, like it's no big deal. He's going to set you up for that. And I can say this too, John. I'm not trying to butter you up, man. When we talk to people, though, John talks to everybody. Mr. X talks to everybody. Like they're right around the corner from their windfall. He's like, well, if you make $1 million off your cryptos, you're going to want to do this. Like he just assumes everybody's going to kill it at some point soon. They're going to kill it. And I love that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Any last minute statements, gentlemen?
Not for me. RemainCalm.net. That's my last statement.
You just said it, Frank, man. You just said it, man. Manage your money like a grown up.
Yeah,
that's it, man.
I mean, if you're, I think everybody should have an LLC. That's my personal opinion.
Oh, yeah.
If you're operating out here,
I have like 5.
I'm not gonna tell you how many I have, but
yeah, we have a lot, don't we?
A lot.
And you have some, and I have some.
Yeah, I mean, without it, you're crazy. You're leaving yourself completely exposed. So anyway, guys, go check it out. RemainCalm.net. RemainCalm.net. Don't freak out. Remain calm. And then, guys, also real quick, you've made your killing on the Watch Us Trade Room. You want to cash out your cryptos, or let's just say you got cryptos you want to cash out. There's only one place to do it. Liquid Base, baby.
Oh yeah.
Liquid Base is the product. BTC to gold in 5 days, and then gold to whatever cash you want. Available in 24 different currencies. Secured and trusted. I mean, it goes on and on and on. We are partnered with some of the most amazing companies.
It works, man. It works. You get your money, or you get your gold, and it's simple. It's very, very private. It's awesome. And it's, again, really easy. You fill out a couple forms and you're in business.
Exactly.
And if you have problems, we walk you through it. I've got my wonderful assistant who's there to help you if you have issues. She's fantastic. And it's just, Liquid Base is awesome. That's another thing we don't talk about enough. It's just so good.
Yep. Liquid Base is sick. And we're going to really start ratcheting this thing up. Because especially, again, you want to remain private, you want to remain secure. The power of gold, man. Gold powers crypto like you would not believe. And, I was able to put this whole thing and the birthing of this masterpiece, and this is really going to be going to the next level in a couple of months. So keep an eye on it. That's the best way for you to liquidate with complete security, privacy, and anonymity. And of course, RemainCalm.net. Don't freak out. Remain Calm. Got the blockchain trust. You got the 1099 buster. You got the crypto school on sale. And one-on-one with the great one. You want to talk to me about anything you want me to consult you with, now's the time. You have any questions? I got answers. So do it. With that being said, gentlemen, I think we're over and out.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right.